Good morning, fellow Toastmaster and dear guests. I would like to welcome you on 320th meeting of the Speakers then Toastmaster Club. I'm Toastmaster Pranav. I'll be the sergeant at arms at today's meeting. To officially start the meeting, I want to remind everyone that meeting will be recorded, and some of the parts may be used for promotional material later. In order to have smooth meeting, here are some ground rules we need to follow during this meeting. First, please put yourself on the mute when you are not speaking. Second, don't interrupt someone is speaking, and if you have to move during the meeting, you can switch off your camera. Third, like be mindful of addressing sex, religion, and politics during the meeting. Fourth, be attentive throughout the meeting, and support encourages fellow speakers by turning your camera, warm smileys, and you can also use Zoom reaction. So as you're aware, like everyone has a mission in life. So similarly, our Toastmaster has one. So our Toastmaster mission is to provide mutually supportive environment to each others, to club, to develop their leadership as well as the communication skill, which help them boost their self-confidence as well as the personal growth. So now let me welcome presiding officer of the day, Toastmaster Tanmay. Over to you, Tanmay.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pranav, and very good morning to one and all. You can unmute yourself and say good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Wow, I feel like a teacher asking for good morning, although I do not see that good morning, teacher. But still, nonetheless, we all are not the students here, but still at the same time, we all are students of this class called Toastmasters. Today's meeting, we all have gathered here, and I see that there are people who are guests. There are people coming from different clubs. Before we start, you have to excuse me, my throat's not well. Before we go further into the meeting, let me tell you something about today's meeting. Today's meeting is special, just like all our meetings, which are also special. We have a wonderful guest speaker coming in today to share his wisdom, his time, and help out the members to understand the pathways, which is a critical aspect of Toastmasters leadership, Toastmasters journey. However, I see that there are multiple people who are not part of Speakers Gen and are either part of different club or are guests. So let us first go into a history of Toastmasters. Can anyone tell me when was Toastmasters founded? It's a rapid fire round. Anyone can go first.
1924.
924 is the right answer. 5 points to Gryffindor. And who founded Toastmasters?
Ralph Medley.
All right, Chetna, you win by 1 second and 10 points to Gryffindor. Can someone tell me in which city the Toastmasters was founded? And Udia has the right answer, California. So Toastmasters was founded. Santa Ana is a better answer, yes. So Toastmasters founded by Ralph Smedley in October 1924 at YMCA Club, Santa Ana, California. And now today, Toastmasters spread across multiple countries in over 190 countries with thousands and 10,000s of members meeting in their every meeting, making sure that they come forward, be consistent, preserve themselves to ensure that they are on the right path of their Toastmasters journey. So are we all ready to take off on this journey today with the Speakers Gen? Are you ready? You can unmute yourself again or show thumbs up.
Yes.
I'm going to ask you, are you ready?
Yes.
Awesome. Now, a brief history about Speakers Gen, because we all know Toastmaster is a very big umbrella and we are just a small speck of it. But every speck is important. And so is Speakers Gen, which was founded 10 years back in September 2012 in Indranagar, Bengaluru. Since then, Speakers Gen has been a home of many veteran Toastmasters who have come forward to start their journey at Speakers Den and have represented at multiple area division and even international levels, win multiple contests, and today we are also there to ensure that we take on the right path. And those paths starts with the pathways. So with this, I would like to officially open the meeting number 320 with the bang of this phone as gavel. Meeting number 320 is formally in session. Power of perseverance. Today's theme. Today's theme, as by our wonderful team on, is power of perseverance. And I just talked about that how there are so many Toastmasters across the globe who come forward, who preserve themselves to make sure that we are on the right path. We have all heard that in the race between the turtle and the rabbit, the tortoise win the race because he was consistent, because he preserved himself, while the rabbit was powerful, skillful, but was also lazy and overconfident. It was like, I can win this race anytime. Why should I put the efforts now? But in the end, what mattered was the small efforts, the 0.1% efforts that the tortoise is putting consistently. If you look at this, if you look at a number and make it a power, like if you raise 1 to the power of 1.01, it will make a very big number. But if you raise the power of 1 to 0.95, even though it's a very small decrement, it would still be a very small number. So are you ready to preserve yourself? What do you think? Is perseverance important or is skill more important? Anyone? Let me see if there are anything on chat. Nothing yet. All right. I think we all are preserving ourselves and conserving our energies today. Great effort, guys. But yes, the same perseverance, when put in with some explosive energy, can bring you among the stars. Because that's what life is. Life is a race. As our beloved teacher Virus once said, life is a race. And to win a race, you have to put consistent efforts. Now, before I move on towards introducing our today's team, I see that there is one comment from Ranjani Rao. Skills can be developed through perseverance, and I could not agree more. We have seen evidence in our club itself that there are people who were very shy in speaking, but through consistent efforts, they were able to now speak flawlessly. We have seen it in our work that there are new interns who are usually attributed towards the mistakes that interns do, but they turns out to be great leaders in the long run because efforts matter. Now, before I move forward towards introducing our today's team, let me take a quick round of guest introductions. And I will start with the first guest, Rupa. Rupa, can you please, if possible, come on camera and introduce yourself to the club in 30 seconds or less? Tell about yourself, how do you get to know about Speakers Den, and what do you want to gain from today's meeting? Over to you.
Yeah, thank you. So, good morning all. So, I came through the Speakers Den through the Google search. So, I was looking for some of the best Toastmasters clubs near my area. That's where I found this club. So, yeah, I'm a bit more excited to be here today because I tried to call multiple times, but still yesterday I couldn't get through the meeting link. So, I was happy. Coming to myself, Rupa, I'm working in Mercedes-Benz as a program manager. So what's the main motto to join Toastmasters is like to express more self, to be an expressive speaker, basically. So yeah, going forward, I would like to have an interactive sessions more and more with you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Rupa. A good round of applause for Rupa. Rupa, there would be an interactive session for the guests as well towards the end of this meeting. So I request everyone to please stay till the end to enjoy this meeting to the fullest.
Sure.
Next, may I please request Pratibha? Pratibha, are you a Toastmasters or a guest?
I'm a guest.
You are a guest. Can you please introduce yourself to the club in 30 seconds or less?
Sure. Hi, everybody. I'm Pratibha Tatia. I am currently working as a process trainer and upcoming behavioral trainer in a online e-commerce. I heard about speakers then because I was right now I'm in the phase of exploring Toastmasters clubs. So whichever was nearby, I'm exploring those. So I came across speakers then few weeks back. I have been part of the guest group for 2-3 weeks now, but I couldn't attend and yeah. So today the stars aligned and I am here. So hopefully looking forward to a nice session and learning from all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Pratibha, for introducing yourself. And I think the best thing about the online meetings is that it's always close to you. You need not to travel anywhere, right? Next, may I please request Ranjini Rao. Please state your Toastmaster club as well. Ranjini Rao, are you there?
Very good morning to everyone, and this is very good morning from District 98 to District 92. I got this Zoom link through a friend of mine, so I had some time today, so I thought why not join. And I'm a part of Goregaon Speakers Community Toastmasters based in Mumbai. I've been a Toastmaster for the last 5 years, and the reason for me joining is this: probably I want to restart my leadership journey, which I had discontinued 3 years ago. So probably to equip myself with a little bit of knowledge about the VP education role, I'm back here. I'm looking forward to a wonderful session. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ranjini, for coming all the way from District 98 and Goregaon Toastmaster Club from Mumbai. Thank you for being here. Next, may I please request Purnima? Purnima, can you please come on camera?
Hi,
Purnima,
good morning,
one
everyone.
question. Are you a Toastmasters?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, can you
I
please
very
introduce yourself as well as your club name as well?
Hi, everybody. I very recently joined Toastmasters. 15 days back, I enrolled myself. I enrolled myself to the district number 92 IIEM Toastmasters Club. It's an online club. So the reason I wanted to attend today's session was that I wanted to understand more about these pathways. Since I'm new to Toastmasters, I wanted to understand the various things that are there. So I thought it would help. And today being a Sunday, I had some time, so I joined the session.
Glad to have you here, Toastmaster Purnima. And this session is going to be very useful for you, being a new member. So please enjoy it to the fullest and make sure that you clear all your doubts with our guest speaker.
Sure. Thank you.
All right. Do we have any more guests over here? Rakesh. Rakesh, can you please come on camera? All right. Meanwhile, Rakesh, make it possible. Can I please request Udaya? Udaya, would it be possible for you to come on camera and introduce yourself to the club? Looks like there is some disturbance in the network, guys. Next, may I please move to Parvati? Parvati, are you there?
Yes, Tanmay. Hi, I'm Parvati, and I have recently joined a Toastmaster club as well. This was my first meeting, and my objective is to understand the pathways as well. I'm pretty new. My membership is still in progress, so we do have a Toastmaster club in my current office. That is, I work for ExxonMobil, and we do have I do attend sessions as a guest, but my membership is in process. So I would wish to learn a little more about Toastmasters, how this is working, as well as the pathways. Yeah, that's about me. Thank you.
Glad to have you here, Parvati, and kudos to your dedication to learn more before even when your membership is still in progress. So kudos to you for that. Big round of applause. All right. There are a couple other guests who are yet to be introduced, but without wasting much time, let me please introduce you to our team mod of the day. And I request our team mod to make sure they take the remaining guest introduction after the education session as well. Our team mod is none other than the energy bubble of the group, the one who is always there in all the hybrid meetings, making sure that we have a good energy in the meeting as well. So please join me in welcoming Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Chetna. Toastmaster Chetna, over to you.
Thank you, Tanmay, for such a wonderful introduction. A very good morning to the Toastmasters and the guests. As a team mod, it is my pleasure to introduce today's theme of the meeting, and that's none other than the power of perseverance. As we all know, perseverance plays a very important role in our lives, be it your professional or your personal, or be it for any student who's pursuing his or her studies. So it's very important in all aspects of our life. And even Tanmay, he gave a wonderful example of perseverance, the rabbit and the turtle story. Having said that, see, what is perseverance exactly? It's the ability, it's the ability of keeping on working on a particular task and to never give up. And you have to be strong while working on them, and even if there are many obstacles which come in your way. We have the example of so many great leaders who were very successful because they had a very strong will of pursuing their dreams, even after they faced many obstacles in life. See, by having perseverance, it helps you to make the progress, even when things get tough. And it is very important to succeed in any aspect of your life. Now, coming to today's meeting. Today's meeting is divided into 4 segments. The first section is the education session conducted by Toastmaster Ashwin. And the second segment would be the prepared speech, where the speaker will be speaking about a prepared topic for 5 to 7 minutes. Third segment would be about the table topics, where the table topic master would give us a topic on the spot, and we need to speak about that topic for 1 to 2 minutes. And finally, the evaluation section, where the evaluator will be evaluating the prepared speaker, and the prepared speaker will be given a feedback on the same. Now, moving on to the first segment, that is the education session on the introduction to the pathways by Toastmaster Ashwin. Coming to the introduction of Toastmaster Ashwin defines himself as a millennial who games and lives by words, my generation mostly texts. On the academic front, Toastmaster Ashwin is a graduate from Amrita School of Engineering, and he specialized in electronics and instrumentation. On the professional, he is currently working as an associate engineer at SunGuard Availability Services. And on the Toastmasters journey, Toastmaster Ashwin, he has been a part of Toastmaster for over 5 years. He started as a member of Toastmasters, Amrita, Bengaluru in 2018. He then served as an area director and the division directors, and he achieved President's distinguished status both the times. And Toastmaster Ashwin is also a Triple Crown winner and was declared as the evaluation champion of Area K4. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Ashwin.
Thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Chetna. Can we give her a big round of virtual applause? All right. Now, before I begin my session, I would like to briefly hand the stage over to our general evaluator of the day, Toastmaster Mansi. Toastmaster Mansi, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ashwin. So, general evaluator today is going to take care of what went well throughout the meeting, before the meeting, and will be performing its duties, my duties as a general evaluator, along with my tag team as timer, R counter, and grammarian. So what is R counter will be introduced by my R counter today, and I'll be updating that too very shortly. But what is general evaluator? I will be quoting some good examples and not so good examples of performing, organizing, delivery, and how well managed the meeting was. On that note, I would like to call upon on the stage my timer, Shankhya Day. We have only timer today, so we'll skip our counter and convenience. Over to you, Toastmaster Shankhya. Please introduce yourself and your role.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mansi. So as a timer for the day, my role is to time the various segments of the meeting. Now I will be timing the speech and the table topic on that note. So the speech will be for 5 to 7 minutes. So when it will be at 5 minutes, I will be sharing the green screen, which indicates that the minimum 5 minutes the speaker has to speech. This will be the green screen, and at 6 minutes it will be the yellow screen, and at 7 minutes it will be the red screen. The speaker will have another 30 seconds to wrap up the speech. Similarly, for the table topic, which will be our segment, at 1 minute it will be the green screen, at 1 minute 30 seconds the yellow, and at 2 minutes it will be the red screen. And after that, it will have another 30 seconds to wrap up the table topic. So with that, I would like to pass on the baton to our general evaluator of the day, Toastmaster Mansi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shankhya, for displaying the timer cards and explaining the role. A little intro about my timer is that he works with Genpact. Recently, he's shifted, and I happened to meet him, and he shifted to Gurgaon. He's a very, very genuine, honest, and a very helping person. On that note, I would pass on the baton to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Chetna.
Thank you, Mansi. Now I would like Toastmaster Ashwin to start with the educational session.
Thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Chetna. Well. Before I begin, how many of you here have been a Toastmaster for over a year? Okay, I see our timer's hand going up. Thank you, Toastmaster Tanmay. How many of you have recently joined Toastmasters? Let's say about 6 months ago. Okay, thank you very much, Brijesh. Thank you very much, Parvati. How many of you have just joined Toastmasters? Like, let's say a month, a couple of months old.
Sorry, Ashwin, I just joined. So I belong to this category rather than that.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, great. So we have a good mix of audiences. Who can tell me here what is pathways? Like when you hear the word pathways, what comes to your mind?
I think it's pathways means the learning journey, like what all activities and milestones that we have to achieve in order to be at the goal or at the target.
Yes, thank you very much, Patti. That's a very good answer. Can we give her a round of virtual applause, please? In the chat box as well, we have an answer from Parvati telling that it's a course. Even you are correct in a way, Parvati. Instead of calling it a course, as Pragna defined it, pathways is a learning experience where you have 11 different paths to choose from. And these 11 different paths comprise of over 300 competencies. So by the time you complete all 11 paths, you will have expertise in over 300 competencies. So that's how the pathway educational system is defined. So I have a book here next to me. I'll be reading the definition of pathways from that. So if you look at the website, pathways is defined as a learning experience that offers 11 specialized learning paths with more than 300 unique competencies. Now that we've learned what a path is, how do you think this educational system is designed?
It's designed more of a theoretical knowledge and we don't apply much today in practical life aspects. That's what I have seen from the educational system all over in India.
Okay, great. Uh, Talking about educational systems in India, how many of you here are engineers? I see lots of smiles, so I assume that you're all engineers smiling. All right, great. We can all, not we can all, I mean, it's a very well-known fact that the first year of engineering is common across all branches. Right, that is the year in which you build your basics. So that is how Pathways is also built. So it is basically like an engineering course. You first build basics, or in Pathways terms, it is called mastering your fundamentals. This is what you do in your level 1 in Pathways. In level 2, you learn your style. In level 3, you increase your knowledge. In level 4, you build your skills. And in level 5, you apply skills that you build. Now, from this, you can infer that every path has 5 levels. Level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5. Level 1 is where you master your basics. Level 2 is where you learn your style. Level 3 is where you increase your knowledge. Level 4 is where you build skills. And level 5 is where you demonstrate your expertise. Now, once you've completed all these 5 levels, you have a specific title that people give you. What is that title called? Anyone? Whoever answers this question will get a brownie, a virtual brownie. All right. This particular individual will be referred to as a path breaker. So basically, you complete a path to become a path breaker. Now, I'm talking about path completion, but what about path beginning? So at the beginning of every path, when you deliver your first speech, that first speech is called the icebreaker. You have the icebreaker, you finish your path, then you become the path breaker. Just like in engineering, how you have first semester as common for all branches or across all branches, in pathways as well, your level 1 is the same across all paths. In the second level is where you slowly start to get a little more technical. In engineering also same thing. Second year is where you slowly start moving more towards your branch specific courses. Here also same. You slowly start moving more towards the skills that you want to develop. Why the skills that you want to develop? I will tell you guys shortly. Level 3 has projects that help you increase your knowledge. That is when you will be stepping out of your comfort zone more often. Level 4 is when you will build your skills, and level 5 where you demonstrate expertise. Coming to what paths do you have? Well, let me show you what paths are there. How many of you here have already chosen their paths? Okay, I see some hands going up. Okay, so how many okay, we all know that there are 11 paths. Let me show you what the 11 paths are. Can I get a thumbs up if my screen is visible? All right, thank you very much. So there are 11 paths, as I've already told you. Those 11 paths are as follows. Where are the paths? Arts and projects. You have dynamic leadership, effective coaching, engaging humor, innovative planning, leadership development, motivational strategies, persuasive influence, presentation mastery, strategic relationships, team collaboration, and visionary communication. You know which is the right path for you. You have 11 different things here, just like a restaurant, you have 11 different things here on the menu. How do you know which is good, which is bad? More than good or bad, how do you know which is the perfect fit for you?
Ask the expert.
I mean, you can, yes, of course, you can go by name. Yes, Toastmaster.
I think ask the expert who knows you and your choices well, be it your mentor.
Yes, that's a very good answer. Can we have a round of virtual applause for Toastmaster Mansi, please? The first person to consult even before selecting your path will be your mentor. Now, once you've consulted your mentor, then what?
Just do it.
Okay. Before you just go ahead and select your path, there is something else as well that you can use to make a more informed decision. So this is a psychometric survey that Toastmasters has built into the system that you can take before selecting your path. Now, how do you do that? Well, you can just log in. If you don't have your logins yet, please get in touch with your club officers. They will help you with your logins. So I will just log in and show you mine. If you guys think I was born in 95, don't worry. I was not born in 95. I was born much later. Now, once you log in, you can click on your name at the top. Go to your home. Then click on go to Basecamp. So this is where you'll be accessing your paths from. A couple of things. This might be slightly technical, but please do disable your pop-up or ad blockers on your website, because that will block your pathways from actually loading. I'm a part of two clubs, a part of Electronic City Toastmasters Club and We Are at One. That's why I have two clubs here. You can choose the club that you are a part of or under which you want to register and a new path under. In the meantime, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to drop them in the chat box or unmute yourself or raise your hand. Yes, I see that Toastmaster Rajni has already put it in the chat box at 11:36 a couple of minutes ago that you will have to take a test. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Rajni. Can we please have a round of virtual applause for her, please? Okay, it took me here. Let's do one thing. Once you've logged in, so okay, this is basically like your profile. This is where you will see your active paths, the your progress, your feedback. You can store them all online. We will look at this a little later. Now let me go to another part of the Toastmasters website. You can click on educational programs. Here under educational programs, you can click pathways. Okay, this is strange. Now, once you click on access, you will be taken to this page. And here it says choose your path for $20 because I've already chosen my first path. If you didn't know, your first path is always free. So if you're a new member, then you can immediately log in and redeem your first path. It will just tell you instead of pay $20, it will tell you redeem your first path for free. There are multiple languages as well that you can choose from. Since we are talking about English, I'll just say English. Instead of view all path options that you can of course do after talking to your mentor, I would recommend taking the assessment. Now this is psychometric assessment. It's not just something that it's something that a lot of thought has gone into. So I'm pretty will remain confidential. This data has almost 4,000 not 4,000, 5 lakh members have taken this survey, and that data has gone out anywhere. So this is all private to you. I am still audible and visible, right? Okay, great. Thank you very much, Toastmaster. Now I will take this survey, but I will not take a lot of time. I'll just put in some things. This is something that you'll have to take very seriously because your entire Toastmasters journey will depend on this. So I would recommend taking your time and actually taking this survey up with seriousness. Please don't hesitate to be honest with yourself. This is one thing, trust me, that will help you a lot. I will just run through all the questions. I will also send in a document to Toastmaster Sonal and ask her to share it with all of you guys. So it has all the questions basically, and it has all the steps as well. So you don't have to actually memorize anything. So there's already a document that's made. I'll just share it with Toastmaster Sonal. So now based on my answers, it will actually suggest the paths that are more suited to my goals. So at the beginning you saw, right, I had to choose 3 goals, and based on those 3 goals and based on my answers, it will suggest 3 paths that the system thinks will be the right fit for me. And once again, I can choose to disagree with the system and select my own path, or I can go ahead and select what the system suggests. So the system is suggesting visionary communication, persuasive influence, and strategic relationships as the best fit for my goals, but I am also free to choose any of these. Now, what is the thumb rule in terms of choosing what is good for you? Number 1, trust the system. If you're new to Toastmasters especially, trust the system. Or if you know exactly what you want, you can go ahead to a specific path, talk to your mentor, talk to people who are whom you trust, and take an educated decision. Now, what if you make a mistake? We all make mistakes, right? We're all humans. Now, what if you make a mistake? You will still have 90 days time to write to Toastmasters and get your path changed. If you haven't delivered any speeches, or even if you've delivered and if not submitted them on Basecamp, or if I believe if you've just done your level 1 is same across all paths. So you can actually write to Toastmasters International, tell them this is the path that I want. So they will actually get back to you and they will change it as well. So that is something that you can always. Now, what after your path selection? Yes, Toastmaster.
Yeah, I have a question. 90 days from the date of the membership renewal or from the date I have opted for?
The date you opted for the path. This is in no way related to your membership renewal. So the only thing is you'll be able to access this if you're a paid member. That's the only relation. All right. Now you've selected your path. You know that your first speech will be the icebreaker. What after that? So what do you do before the meeting? What do you do during the meeting, and what do you do after the meeting? Well, in pathways, let me in fact show you here. There is something called, there are some things called projects. So previously it was speeches, now it is called projects. Every project can have a speech. Some projects have 2 speeches, some projects have no speeches, some projects have 3 speeches. So it depends on your project. Some projects will just tell you go ahead and organize a webinar. Some projects will just tell you create a podcast. So it depends. It's not just specific to speeches. It has a mix of both speaking and performing tasks as well. Now, what do you do before the meeting? Let's say this is you're attempting your icebreaker. You will have to come to your pathways homepage, select your path, and select your level and click on launch. Once you click launch, it will take you to this menu. It will take you to your curriculum, to be exact. Now, this is where you'll find all the details about your projects. I told you that some projects have speeches, some projects have action, sometimes you'll have to organize webinars, sometimes you'll have to showcase your leadership skills. So things like that, this is where you find all those details. Now, what I would like to do here is look at something called print my project. Print my project basically gives you all of these details in one PDF. Let me just show you. This is the begin, like the first page. You can just hit begin. Run through all of them. Please go through these. They have a lot of important information for your project. In fact, this is designed in such a way that it will even help you prepare for your project as well. Let me show you project checklist. Now, what is this project checklist? This project checklist is basically a document that will help you achieve your goals, achieve the objectives of that particular project. Now, as you see here, you are first supposed to schedule your speech, write a speech, rehearse, and after you complete it all, you are supposed to assess yourself. Now you can rate yourself in the system as well. I will show you how. Yes. So I told you, right, you can rate yourself in the system as well. And this is how you can do it. So before you deliver a project, you have to come here and rate yourself, how confident you feel in front of groups. Just a 5-second, 5-question rating system. I just put it in before my icebreaker. Once this is done, you will have to prepare for your project, deliver your speech, get your evaluation. And once that is done, once you finish your speech, get your evaluation, you will have to again come and rate yourself after the speech. So this way you will have a reference point before, a reference point after. So you can actually track your progress. So this is, okay, print my project. Now I will show you where how you can rate yourself after. So once you rate yourself after the project, this is how it will show you your rating. So you can actually see the before and after results as it is. Now this is basically the document. For every project, this document will be there. You can access it through your Pathways portal. So again, if you print this, you can actually sit and fill it out. You can do it however you want. It's up to your preference. And this one document will have everything you need, right from your project checklist to your evaluation form. Please hand this evaluation form to your evaluator before the meeting. If you have anything in specific that you want the evaluator to evaluate you as a speaker at, please have a conversation with the evaluator regarding that as well. Once that is done, You can upload this here. You can come to home. And you will see documents. You see this, right? My documents, you can save it all here so that it is all in one place. So this is how you will have to access your pathways before the meeting, not access it, but deliver your speech during the meeting or whatever your project asks you to do. And these steps, and after that, upload your feedback after the meeting. Now we've seen what to do before the meeting, after the meeting, before the meeting, during the meeting, after the meeting. How many of you here have heard the term distinguished Toastmaster? The term distinguished Toastmaster, or DTM for short. Okay, I see Pratibha's hand going up. So a distinguished Toastmaster or a DTM basically has done two parts, not one. Two parts of 5 levels, equating to about 35 odd speeches. And not just that, on top of that, he or she has done specific district officer roles, mentored a club or coached a club, sponsored a club. By sponsorship, I don't mean in terms of remuneration or anything. In terms of time, he has looked through the charter process of a club. And along with that, he has done some additional volunteer service as well. Now that is how the pathways fits into the bigger goal if you want to of achieving the distinguished Toastmaster title. Now why I say the bigger goal of distinguished Toastmaster title? If you have the title DTM in Toastmasters, that is the highest honor that you can have. So that is something that you'll have to keep in mind. This is how the system of pathways fits into that bigger picture. I've spoken for close to about 20 minutes. Timer, how long have I spoken for?
Yeah, 25 minutes.
25 minutes, okay. I will stop here for now. What questions do you guys have? Yes, Toastmaster.
Ashwin, actually I completed 2 path. 2
Great.
path also I can see visible the certificate, completion certificate. But
yes.
I have access for the DTM project. But which club I have given initially, I am not remembering. But after completing the DTM project, I sent the request, completion request for the club. But the club was not received my request. And again, I see the completion where we can see everything completion. There I saw 2 paths are completed and certificate are visible, and DTM project also completed, but certificate is not visible.
Marute, so did your club write to Toastmasters International to unlock your DTM project? Because your DTM project has to be unlocked by the club writing to Toastmasters International and them getting back to you telling it is unlocked. So unless and until that happens, you will not, even though you do the project, you deliver speeches and all, they will still not be able to approve it there. For you, it might be unlocked, but it is better if you get in touch with education@toastmasters.org, write to them, tell them the issue and get it. In fact, I'll connect with you offline because it's a slightly more technical and advanced question. I don't want new members to get confused. That's all.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
There's one question when I have in the chat box, Toastmaster Ashwin. What about twice and thrice doing the same DTM awards and how it works?
Can you repeat that, Mansi, please?
What about some people getting 2 or 3 DTM awards and how it works? And I mean, this is one question from Udaya, but I have a question. I mean, why should a person go beyond DTM and again do the same award?
Okay. So how do multiple DTMs work? They do the same thing multiple times. So let's say you completed 6 parts, you've been a district officer for 3 years, you sponsored 3 clubs, you mentored or coached 3 clubs, then you have the credits to do it. So why not do it? For example, I have enough DTM credits with me to, enough district officer credits with me to finish 3 DTM, but I haven't even finished one. So you can do it multiple times. People do it multiple times because at least me, whenever I do something for the first time, I'm not the best at it, but practice gets me there. I may not become perfect, but I will definitely become better. So that is why people do it.
One more question, last one. So there are different other awards. I mean, the titles which are CCCL, competent communicator.
Yes.
I mean, why should one person go beyond the DTM and do other? Oh, I mean, these are least taken. I have seen in my journey so far.
Okay, great. So Toastmaster Mansi, the CCCL is no more. Because even when I started my Toastmasters journey about 6 years back, I started off when CCs and CLs were still a thing. Pathways were coexisting along with CCs and CLs for almost 2 years. The reason why they progressed or evolved into pathways is because in CCs and CLs, you had a leadership track and you had a communication track. You had to follow 2 tracks. If you wanted to become a distinguished Toastmaster, you had to finish leadership track and communication track. There was no, you couldn't do both and at once simultaneously. It was a little tedious. And plus, it was about 50 speeches that time. Now they've streamlined it a little more. It's slightly less number of speeches as individual checkboxes. But the biggest advantage here is that there are no 2 separate tracks. It is integrated into one track. So by just going through one track, you will be able to do both communication and leadership. So that is an advantage. This is a debate that will go on, but I think it's time that we had, I think it was time that we had evolved to something a little more dynamic. And also in the chat box, I see that there was a question that Mansi, okay, there was another question that Mansi asked. With respect to multiple DTMs, you don't have to do if you do the same path once again, you will not get your credit. It has to be different paths. So let's say I've done innovative planning and effective coaching for my first DTM. For my second DTM, I cannot do the same 2 paths. I can do them, but the credits will already be with me. So I will not be able to get my DTM that way. But if I do 2 different paths, then I can still progress further in my second DTM. Any other questions? Okay, I see Toastmaster Brijesh's hand up. Brijesh, please go ahead.
Yeah, hi Ashwin. So I have a question that I recently joined this Toastmaster. So I have given icebreaker speech. So after that, what I have to do next means I have to upload that document here.
Yes. So your feedback is there, right? Your feedback document, so that it is all in one place. You can just come to your My Documents folder here, and you can just upload them. So you see, right? It has folders also that are already made. You can just come here and upload your feedback.
So I have to take from evaluator that feedback.
Yes. Yes. So you will have to request your evaluator after the meeting to actually fill in the evaluation form and hand it to you. So in a physical meeting, what used to happen is that we used to have an evaluation form print out, hand it over to the evaluator. The evaluator would read out the objectives, write his evaluation down, and then hand it back to you at the end of the meeting. And then he would come, you would give some feedback offline as well. So all of those used to happen. In an online setting, it's slightly tricky to do that unless the member is very dedicated and the evaluator as well. So that's why the best way to do it is please hand him a PDF, let him fill all of it in, send it to you, and you can just upload it here in your documents. And after you upload it, you will have to take the survey after delivering your speech as well.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, after that is when you can call your project complete. Once you complete all the projects in level 1, that is when you can call level 1.
Okay, thank you.
Toastmaster Ashwin, on the same line, I have one question. In case my evaluator is not available or I am not getting evaluation sheets, I've had that example in my personal journey, and I've faced this people complaining also. So sometimes people do forget giving they give verbal evaluation, but they forget the sheet. So that's where we are losing. So what should we do in that scenario?
The best case I would say would be, if you're having an in-person meeting, give him printout so that he has a sheet with him. If you're meeting online, then send a PDF to him on WhatsApp or email or whatever your preferred channel of communication is, and follow up with him to make sure that he fills and gets it back. That is the only way we can do it in an online world. But if it's in person, I would say actually give him a printout, because that is how I did my CCCLs. I actually had a CCCL handbook that I used to hand over to my evaluator, used to fill it and give it back. So that would be the best scenario. Real world, I would say a PDF is more dynamic and it's more efficient, because you can just store it online here in the past. Now, since meetings are also online, people have also become a little more tech savvy and a little more, the transition towards using PDFs has also slightly took a steeper hike.
Some people were not even well versed with how to fill the PDF. And
exactly.
Yeah.
Toastmaster Pratibha, I see your hand raised.
Yeah. So my question is a little different from what we are discussing. When you reach the DTM level, are there any benefits in the Toastmaster family, like how you progress or something like that? And is there any benefit in the leadership journey overall as well, and within the Toastmaster family? That's the question.
I'll tell you the biggest benefit you have. The biggest benefit you have is the learning that you go, that you will get once you achieve that title. Because it's not just one path, it's a lot of speaking, a lot of leadership, a lot of mentoring, a lot of coaching, and other club building activities as well. You will develop as a person. Now, in terms of the on paper benefits, well, wherever you go to a meeting, you will have bragging rights. You can tell everyone, I am a DTM. They will respect you. Number two, it is not a small thing or a small title. It's a huge deal, in fact. At least if you ask me, I know people who've taken about 15 years to do their DT. So our past district director, distinguished Toastmaster Rajkumar Bansal, I think he took about 18 years to finish his first DT. When you ask him how long for second DTM, he took first one only took 18 years, and I'm still recovering from that, and you're asking me about my second. So it's not a small thing. You will learn a lot. You will grow as an individual. The indirect benefits are huge. The passive benefits, not the indirect. The passive benefits are way out of proportions compared to the active benefits. That's what Toastmasters is all about, at least to me.
All right. Great. Thank you for the answer.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster. Any other questions, anyone? I'm running a little short on time, so any other questions?
So I have a question. So once
Yes,
after we complete level, so do we have to do anything from our end, like on the system, like where we have to show we've completed all the
so
levels?
when you complete a level, you will have to, of course, submit it here in your Pathways portal. After all of this, where did it go? So basically, your club officer will have to approve your level completion. It's just like a validation. So once I finish all my projects here, right, here there will be a level completion submission icon. So once you submit it, your Basecamp administrator, basically your president or VP head or secretary, they will have to approve it. Once they approve it, you will get your level completion certificate. They will have to approve it right now in two places, Basecamp and Club Center. Future, there is an update and a backend update that's happening where they'll have to only do it once. So that's something that TI is already working on.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? One last question. Okay, I see that we have no questions. I've checked the chat box as well. Now, before I let you
Can I, Ashwin, if there is no question, one last question, can I
yes
take
please
that?
yes please yes
So, what challenges have you faced so far in becoming a? I mean, I'm not sure if you're a TM or a DTM, but in setting up a club, be it in any of the seats of Toastmaster, and what people face while becoming a
me
DTM.
personally. Okay, can you repeat the question? Have a stable
Yeah, you
connection.
can go ahead. I mean, you personally, what challenges you have faced, and what that might help us as a group. Challenges and how you overcame.
So when I joined Toastmasters back in 2017, the first renewal cycle was all hunky-dory. We were about 30 members, all of them, we charted in the month of April, so we paid for around 11 months, so district got multiple. Yeah, okay, fine, all of that. But the term after that is when we had the toughest storm of our lives. No one renewed except the XCOM. What do we do as 8 people? We don't have enough people to run meetings. We don't have enough strength in our meetings. So it was a challenging time. And in leadership or in anything as a matter of fact, my mentor always told me, you become what you go through. If you go through tough times, you will become tougher. If you go through easy times, you will become softer. That's a slightly turbulent phase that we went through. So that is when we all started thinking, what long term? How can we ensure that our club sustains even 5 years from 10 years from? How can we have a club succession plan over the years and not just 1 year? How do we establish a pipeline of guests in every meeting? How do we ensure that we are seeing those conversions happen from guests to members? So when we sat as a group, brainstormed, I think that brought the best out of each and every one of us as a team. That to me has been my biggest challenge and my biggest learning in Toastmasters. In terms of pathways and becoming DTMs, well, as I told you, I started off from a CCCL time. So I finished my first Triple Crown in 2020. When I got it, I finished my CCCL and my ALB as well. I even finished my HPL that year, but I couldn't do an ELS because I didn't have a district officer credit and I was just out of college in 2020. But yes, time went on. I've been a district officer for almost 3 years now. But yeah, it is a little tough because I do not want to because pathways is something where you set the benchmark for yourself. There is no system that is telling that you have to achieve a 5-star rating. There is no system like that. You set your goal, tell I will achieve 3 stars. Next time when I do this project, I will achieve 4 stars. So that's how you can improve yourself as well. But once again, it's a target that you set for yourself. It's self-paced. So it's been slightly difficult because I've been trying to push that envelope as much as possible. That's why it is taking me a little bit of time, but touch wood, hopefully soon.
Toastmaster Ashwin.
Yes. Yes.
Toastmaster Ashwin, I just have a small request. Since many of the members who are here, so they may or may not have given the first speech. So if you can just quickly show in the screen that you have already shown that the first time when they will be coming up, how do they go through the speech? What are the various things they have to go inside? How do they complete that icebreaker? Which things they have to click on? So that would be helpful.
Yeah, I mean, okay, fine. I'll show it again. So once you come to your pathways, so I mean your pathways portal, you can just say open curriculum. Once you launch this particular link, it will take you to the page that I was previously. It will take you to your curriculum. Here you can say launch. Once you say launch, this is something you'll have to do before the meeting. Before the meeting, you'll have to launch your project, go through all of these slides, look at your project checklist, go to print my project, go through that PDF, download your evaluation resource, hand it to the evaluator, talk to him if you have anything specific that he wants to look at. ensure that you deliver your icebreaker or your speech to the best of your ability. Take your evaluation and upload it in documents. Now I'll show you where you can do all that. Okay. So this is where you will. So as soon as you click on launch, this is where you will be put. You can hit begin. So it will tell you the navigation menus and everything. It's just a small tutorial. So this is the first project, the icebreaker. Now this is your project checklist. You can click on it, launch it. So this will give you an idea of what you have to do in your project, what are the recommendations, the timelines, the flow of your project, how you can plan for it. All of that is here in your project checklist. This is just a basic one, but if you look at projects like high performance leadership, it's actually a 2-3 page checklist filled with checklists. They are your higher level projects, sometimes level 4, but mostly level 5 projects. Once you've done that, you will have to rate yourself here before the meeting, how confident you feel. After you've gone through this rating system, you will have to deliver your prepare for your speech. So this is where you can, this is the sheet that you can use to prepare for your icebreaker. Every project will have something like this that will help you prepare for it. So it will ask you to write down, it will ask you for an opening, a body, and a conclusion. And by the time you get to the last point here, you'll already have a an almost ready-made speech. Once that happens, okay, this is just a download. Once again, this is to help you prepare for your speech, the timing, the pace, the organization, the review. How do you plan your speech moment by moment to moment? And this
Ashwin,
is
one
something that
question
you'll have to
here.
after. Yes,
Sorry for
Pratibha, go ahead.
interrupting. I have a question here. So on this each step, do we have somebody to help us? Like, do we get somebody to uh, get it verified before we deliver our speech that if it is following the proper
Yes.
sequence or not?
Yes, yes, that is true. Your mentor will be there here to help you out.
Ah, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So once you rate yourself after the meeting, you'll be able to see what you where you were before the meeting and where you were after the meeting. The resources tab here will have access to all the resources for that particular project. For example, your evaluation sheet, your project checklists, your print my project PDF. That is what I use personally, the print my project because it's one PDF that has everything, and this is where you can see how you have rated yourself before and after, and you're done. Now I don't have access to my previous path because it's already complete, or else I would have shown you how it looks once you completed your level as well. You will basically have a tick mark next to your curriculum. So you see this blue tick mark here, right? On the top right hand corner of the icebreaker icon. So the same tick mark will be here, will appear here once your club officers are approved.
Ashwin, also if you can just cover from where the evaluation sheet can be downloaded, that will be helpful.
Yes, so it will be in the resources tab. So if you launch this launch, okay, it's right here. If you come here to the resources, present after your speech. So after your speech,
I think it will be there in the your evaluation.
So this is your resources tab, your evaluation, yeah, correct, your evaluation. And this is where you'll find the evaluation resources. So this is something that you'll have to hand over to your evaluator. Now, since I'm running out of time, there are two more things or two more aspects that I would just like to touch upon. One thing is the Pathways mentoring program. So let's say you completed your path and now you want to mentor someone. Even for mentoring also, you will get credit. How? Pathways mentor program. You can complete and call yourself path breaker. Even okay, I don't want to say that, but yeah, this is also present in your path. It will get unlocked once you finish level 2. Once you finish your level 2, Pathways mentor program also will get unlocked. You'll have access to that as well. You can mentor someone, you can award them badges, you can actually see the tutorials as well in the homepage. Right next to your paths and learning, there'll be tutorial section as well. There'll be videos that you can see on how to award badges to people, give specific feedback to your club members. So even all of that also the system already has built in. I didn't want to show it because it's slightly more for advanced Toastmasters than beginners. The next thing is your electives. Now from level 3 onwards, just like how in engineering, third year you will have electives. Here also you have electives. The electives are the same across all projects so that everyone has the same access. You can choose what you want to do. Sometimes I love the project HPL, so my elective is always an HPL because it will give me the freedom to do whatever I want and set benchmark for myself. Some people like organizing webinars, so they choose that. Some of you might be interested in creating podcasts or maybe writing your own blog. So you have electives for that as well. You can, if you have something that's already done, you can get it evaluated so that you get more for what you've already done. So that is also something that you can expect. All right, everyone, cool? Okay, thank you very much for the thumbs up. That's it from my side. I will drop in my contact details in the chat box as well. You can reach out to me anytime. I'm usually a night owl, so I'm usually up until 2, 3 in the night. I'm not a morning person at all. So feel free to text anytime you want. And yes, that is it from my side. I hope this was helpful. If you have anything, please don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you very much for this wonderful opportunity. And I wish you all a wonderful Pathways journey ahead in Toast and your Toastmasters journey as well. Wishing you all the best. Thank you very much. And over to you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ashwin, for enlightening us with your knowledge on the introduction to Pathways. It really helped us in clarifying things and also all the doubts we had. Now, moving on to the next session, that is the prepared speech by Toastmaster Pasha. And Toastmaster Pasha, your speech will be evaluated by Toastmaster Mansi. Toastmaster Mansi is a travel fanatic. She's a painter by hobby, business analyst by profession. Currently, she's serving as the VP of PR at Speakers Den Club. And previously, she was also a member of Capital Land Toastmasters Club. Over to you, Toastmaster Mansi, in presenting the objective of the speech to be presented by Toastmaster Pasha.
Thank you, Toastmaster Chetna, for calling me on the stage. So the speaker is trying for L2P3, and L2P3 stands for Presentation Mastery, and the title is Life is on Other Side of Fear. The purpose of this speech and presentation mastery altogether is to understand the types of persuasive speeches and deliver a persuasive speech in club meeting. Over to you, Toastmaster Chetna. We can go ahead with the speech.
Now, Toastmaster Pasha would be presenting his speech on the title, Life is on the Other Side of Fear. Toastmaster Pasha is a cosmetic orofacial surgeon. He has been in dentistry for past 22 years. He has 3 multi-specialty innovative dental clinics and implant center, 1 in Bangalore and 2 in Navi Mumbai area. He has authored and published 2 books released and published worldwide, now currently available on Amazon and Atiti Books. Over to you, Toastmaster Pasha.
What is man's greatest enemy? Anybody from audience?
Fear.
What is? Yes, ma'am. Absolutely right. Why, ma'am?
Because
Why
fear
fear
is,
is?
most of the
Yes.
time it blocks our mind and it prevents us from doing what we can actually do.
Excellent, ma'am. Fear stop. Fear paralyzes our mind, stops us from growing, progressing. In order to say, it stagnates our life. It stops us from moving into unknown. It stops us embracing change, stops us leaving our comfort zone. Like it, one word to say, fear paralyzes our life. It stops us from growing. Good morning, one and all. Life is on other side of fear. As I grew up, I overcome all my fears. I could jump into deep waters from high heights. I could climb tall coconut trees. I could collect honey from honeybee hives. I didn't have any fear. I had only one fear. That is fear of speaking in English. When I was in school and my pre-university college, my English was fun to everyone. So when I was pursuing my BDS as Bachelor of Dental Surgery, so whenever I tried to speak, I was laughed at, I was embraced, and I was discouraged. So I always, uh, because of that, I always avoid speaking in English. So after completing my graduation, I went to Mumbai. So there I gave interviews. I didn't clear any interview because of my poor communication in English. So finally, I decided to start my clinical practice in Khopoli. After practicing several years, I didn't feel the importance of English because the ways of communication was Marathi and Hindi. Later on, three incidents made me to feel the necessity of English language. One is I went for admission for my elder son in Dhirubhai Ambani school. It was managed and administered by Nita Ambani. It is a very reputed school. To call for an interview means it is a big this thing. So fortunately, I called for interview in that school. So that the principal was talking in English. I was sweating. I was blank and I was blank. I I was feeling what embraced. That time I felt the importance of English language in our lives. Second incident, I started my own academy. I had a call from one candidate. The candidate was inquiring me about my courses in English. So I could not properly clarify all queries in fluent English. That candidate didn't admitted in my academy. That time I felt the importance of English, spoken English. Third was I authored a book. I authored my book. So I consulted many publishers, reputed international publishers. My content was very nice. It was very solid. But with my poor communication skills, I could not put impact on publishers. So I was rejected from many reputed international publishers. So all these experiences, I talked to myself. One day I have to overcome this fear. One day I have to speak in fluent English. So I committed myself. My self-talk was all those days was So how could I improve my English? How could I speak? So I used to imagine to speak in front of you all also. That day I was imagining, that's why today I am here in front of you all people. So I committed to improve my English. So one fine day, in 2021, I was browsing through, I came across a Speakers Gen Toastmaster. So I called to that person, one very kind-hearted person, humble person. Thank you. He received my call. He guided me. He helped me to join Speakers and Toastmasters. After joining Toastmasters, now I am overcoming my fear of public speaking every day. So every day. No, see, now I am in front of you. See, I am feeling lively. I am feeling thrilled. I am feeling excited because I am speaking in English. I am putting my thoughts in front of you all. My perspectives in front of you all. So that is the actual life is thrill and excitement. Thrill and excitement. So that's why. So I am overcoming my fear of speaking in English. I am living my life of my dreams. I am living my life. So we humans, either we live our lives or we live our fears. So living our lives is actual living. Living our dreams is life. Living our fears is just exacting. That is up to you. So you just find out what is stopping you. What is stopping you? You find out what fear is stopping you from growing and living your dream life. Face it. Grow through it. So world in the form of Santos, world will come and help you. Because once you decided and committed, then world will help you. So life is on other side of fear. So whatever we wanted to have, I wanted to get, it is on the other side of fear. So over to you, sir. I conclude my speaking saying, please find your fear, face it, and overcome it. Life is on the other side of fear. Thank you, sir. Thanks.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pasha, for your enlightening and motivational speech. We were really motivated listening to your speech. Now moving on to the next section of the meeting, that's the table topics. And for today, our table topics master is none other than Toastmaster Lalita. Toastmaster Lalita is a HR by profession with 10 years of corporate experience. She enjoys reading books and cooking. She also likes to travel occasionally. Over to you, Toastmaster Lalita.
Thank you, Toastmaster Chaitanya, for such a wonderful welcome. So good morning, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. My name is Toastmaster Lalita, and I'm going to be the table topic master in today's session. But before starting, let me tell you what table topic session really means. Table topic session is a kind of an impromptu speaking session where the table topic master will be giving you a topic. You get 5 to 10 seconds of time to think, and then you have to speak for a minimum of 1 minute and for a maximum of 2 minutes. Our timer will share a screen. The moment you cross 1 minute, is going to change the Zoom background to green color. And when it turns to 1 minute 30 seconds, that will change to yellow color. And when it goes to 2 minutes, that goes to red. And you have another 30 seconds to wrap up your speech. So let's start the session. Who would like to volunteer first? Parvati Menon, would you like to volunteer?
Sure, Lilith, I can give it a try.
Yeah, sure. So does nature or nurture form a person's personality? Do you want me to repeat it, or shall I post it on the chat box?
Yeah, it would be great if you could repeat it once again, Lalita.
So does nature or nurture form a person's personality?
Right. Good morning or good afternoon to all the Toastmasters present here. My topic that's been given to me is nature or nurture, which one of these form a personality? I'm Parvati. I'm very new to Toastmasters, and this could be one of my first virtual table topics that I'm getting. And I believe that, both nature and nurture, are goes hand in hand in building someone's personality. Personality is something which represents you. It is unique to each one. And, you know, with that being said, I think how our environment, that's the nature, or how people around us, or how I see people could be one impact of how my personality is being built, and how I am being nurtured, or what is being fed to me, or what is being, given to me, that develops my personality. So both nature and nurture goes hand in hand for me to, build my personality. But I've seen that equally. I mean, I believe that it it is both nurture and nature. Uh, the higher stand or the upper hand for a personality built would be nurture, because that's what is being given to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Parvati, for sharing your thoughts. Next, who would like to volunteer? Rajni Rao, would you like to volunteer?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Describe someone who has inspired you in your life.
Can you repeat, please?
Sure. Describe someone who has inspired you in your life.
Thank you, Table Topic Master. People who have inspired, not just one, but people who have inspired. Many people in my walks of life have inspired me, but dear to my heart are my, I should say, two eyes, my parents, my dad and my mom. My dad, being born and brought up in a very normal, below average middle class family, had to struggle a lot. He had 10 siblings, and life was so very difficult. And he used to travel, on foot 2 kilometers and then take a train to the nearby city in order to pursue his higher education. As at that point in time, he lived in a very small village. But with perseverance, grit, and determination, he evolves himself to become a businessman. And not just a businessman, but a successful businessman who not only helped his family, give all comforts, but he went out of the way in order to give comforts even to his siblings' children. Second, talking about my mother, she is personification of patience. Imagine, managing such a joint family, large joint family, but day in and day out, she did it with a smile, patience, and a lot of conviction. So these two people have inspired me, and I have seen them live their life. They just not talk about the virtues of patience and other things, but they have, molded that in such a way that they have lived by the principles, and that is what I admire them about. And I have, as of now, tried to inculcate at least a little bit of those values which they have inculcated in me. So the greatest people in my whom I admire are obviously my parents. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rajni Rao, for sharing your thoughts on this. Next, who would like to volunteer? Rupa, would you like to give a try?
Yes, I can do that.
Okay. Are leaders born or made?
Okay. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. So thanks for the topic, Lalita. So according to me, the leaders are like born, and it's not like all the leaders are like born leaders, and few people are like the made. It's not, the knowledge is not something which can be come with our birth. So whatever we are learning is as a part of our day-to-day learnings we will learn, and that's made us a great leaders. So with my experience, I would say like whomever I met, whatever the leaders whom I have met, I would say like to be a successful leader, we have to inculcate the learnings from each and everyone. In our day-to-day life, we will be traveling with many leaders, like in and around us, like in our office, or it may be at personal life. We might be seeing many leaders. So from each leader, what we can inculcate is what we have to learn every day. So according to me, the few leaders are like a born leaders with some extra skills which they will born. At the same time, it's not something like if they are born with some specific skills, we have, the thing is we have to identify the skills in them, and we have to learn some good leadership skills out of them. So yeah, thanks Lalita.
Thank you, Rupa. Next, who would like to volunteer? Rachna, would you like to give a try?
Yes, sure.
Describe one of the most valuable qualities of a mentor. Describe one of the most valuable qualities of a mentor.
Okay, sure. I'll take 5 seconds to collect my thoughts.
Yeah. Rachna, it would be great if you can come on camera.
Sure. Okay, so all throughout my life, I have been tutored and mentored by many people. But what I feel is the most important quality of any mentor is their encouragement and motivation to overcome our fear, and just help us to be out there and to overcome our fear. So there are many things. It's not about a particular subject, it's not about a particular aspect of life which we are which the mentor has is giving us a lesson for, but it's more about inculcating or developing that inner strength, that inner quality, so that not only for that subject matter, but for the other aspects of our life, we can prepare ourselves and we can achieve our goal. So it's the ability of a mentor to help us build that inner strength, that perseverance. That is the most valuable trait that I feel that any mentor or any teacher can give a student. So yeah, I feel that helping the person to build the confidence and the strength in quality and the strength in character is the most valuable trait.
Thank you, Prajna. I totally agree with what you said. So as a mentor, I think the most important quality is they should help us to overcome our fear. So thank you for that. So anyone else would like to volunteer? Brijesh, would you like to give a try?
Yeah, sure, ma'am.
Yeah. So what is the secret to success? What is the secret to success?
Can I take 5 seconds?
Sure.
Okay.
Can you please come on camera? Yeah, thank you.
So, secrets of success. See, secrets of success built by our daily routine activities. So, by overcoming our fears and building up confidence. So, first of all, my fear is of lack of public speaking. So this, if I got achieve this success, so this will be great success for me. So for that, I joined this Toastmaster. So to improve my public speaking. So this is only my secret of success, to build confidence and become fearless in speaking. And we can have a mentor also who can guide us and take us to right path, and that can help us to achieve success. And that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Brijesh. I think Toastmaster platform is the best platform to overcome our fear. So I think we can make maximum use of this. Toastmaster Chaitanya, do I have time?
Yes, you have, Lalita.
Next, would like to volunteer?
I'll take it up if no one's taking.
Can I take it, Lalita?
Yes, Pratibha, you can take it up. So what was the last time you tried something new? What was the last time you tried something new?
Give me 5 seconds.
Sure.
And I'll start about it. Yeah. So, hi everybody. Good afternoon. Thank you, Lalita, for the topic. So Toastmasters journey is the last thing and the latest thing that I've tried something new. I love talking, yet I used to think that I might not be very good in public speaking. So this is something that I've tried. I've been last 2 months I've attended, I think, almost every week except the last week. I've attended club meetings, and I'm enjoying it. And today the session on pathways was very enlightening for me, and I think I'm ready to choose a club and start my Toastmasters journey. I feel that trying something new on a regular basis is very important for our own personal growth, for exposure, and the kind of people we meet, and the amount of learning we get from our environment, our peers around, our mentors, everybody. So for me, starting something new, taking a new path, that's always been something very close to my heart, and that keeps me going, and gives me a sense of growth in my life and a sense of accomplishment that yes, I'm alive, and I'm doing something great with my life. And just to sum it up, for me, it's like I'm living my life's purpose, just to be and know everything that is there to know in this world. So thank you so much for the topic.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Thank you, Pratibha. So I totally agree with you. Trying out something new brings excitement to our life. So next, Mansi, would you like to volunteer?
Yeah, I'm good with it.
So do you think crying is a sign of weakness or strength?
Definitely, I'll pick up strength. Crying isn't a sign of weakness. It's been perceived all across the globe that if you cry, you are being weak and you're not able to handle the situation. I'll tell you a story where I started my engineering journey, and I was very ambitious because there was certain amount which was always told and inculcated inside me that you have a backup as your father, but he's also paying some amount. So I was very ambitious. And in first year, I failed. I failed in one subject. I went back to my room. I closed myself and I wasn't speaking to someone. Nobody was there, and I was so distressed. I started crying. Now, my roommate went to one of my senior and told the same story, what she's doing right now. She comes back. She said, open the door immediately. Talk to me. I opened up, I spoke only to that one person. And she said, if you don't stop crying today, I'll slap you tightly. That's where I understood we both were strong personalities. She also faced the same challenge in her first year, what I was going through. So it was always perceived the people who've had maximum failures. Dealing with it is crying, talk it out, share it, go through it, and ace it. That's it. Over to you, Toastmaster Lalita.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mansi, for sharing such an inspirational story. Next, would like to volunteer. Purnima, would you like to give a try?
Yeah, I would.
Which is worse, failing or never trying?
Give me 5 seconds to collect my thoughts.
Sure. If you can come on video, it would be great, Purnima.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Toastmaster Lalita, for picking my name. Which is worse, whether it's failing or not trying?
Never trying this.
I feel that not trying is definitely worse. That's the worst thing. When you try something and when you fail, failure is not the actual failure. It is the stepping stone for success, as we all know. So you always learn a lesson when you fail. But when you don't try anything, there's no learning at all. So people who fail in life, they learn more and than people who never try. So according to me, you should always try. Whether you succeed or not is a different thing, but you must give it your try. You must give it a try, whichever it is, whatever subject or whatever it is in your life, give it a try. Never sit idle without trying. So for example, if you have to run a running race, if you run the race, you will at least win or lose. But if you never participate, there is no chance of winning at all. So I feel that you should give it a try always. Thank you.
Thank you, Purnima. I do agree, participating is more important than winning. So next, would like to volunteer, Dr. Isha. Would you like to volunteer?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So where do you find inspiration?
I find inspiration in many things. First, I found my inspiration in my parents, my father and mother. So my father was middle class worker. Uh, he was a farmer, and he was into wide range of activities. We were totally 11 siblings, so ours is very big family. But my father made my brothers with his principles, with his philosophy, with his hard work, with his persistence, made my brothers engineers. So, so when I was child, my early childhood, he was expired. My brothers made me doctor. Like that, it has happened. So my first mentor was my father, because he was a man of principles. He was a man of values. My mother and my father, they believed in good to humanity. They were very hard workers. After that, I found the inspirations in many peoples, like day to day in my life. Now, today I attended a meeting with see people's, many peoples who are trying to achieve, who are preparing to achieve something. who are not wasting time. I find inspiration in that people also. Those who are always helpful to others, helpful to community. I find inspiration from books. I read books. From books, I find the inspirations. I find the inspiration in some movie stars like that. Over to you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
So thank you, Dr. Pasha. So in the interest of time, we would be winding up the session. So over to you, General Evaluator Mansi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lalita, for conducting a very organized and theme-versed session of Toastmasters and as a table topic master. First, I would like to evaluate my speech. Will that work, Timon?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Yes. Master Pasha, you chose a topic which was related to fear. And the first thing you did was overcoming. So first thing is kudos to yourself speaking about the topic. Some of the points which I would like to mention you excelled at were you started with a question which kept the audience engaged. Though you didn't get any answer back, but that created a momentum in your speech where you can start and pitch the topic. Then examples of incidences you mentioned in your life of school and the story where you went to the publisher and how it happened and how you overcome. So these storytelling parts were there in your speech. However, I would encourage you to keep certain elements in your story. Maybe if it's your own story, create a character of your own. Or there are characters in that story. Who was that person whom you reached out to? Who helped you? If not, please create them. And the energy part, I thought a bit of high pitched you can. So that's where your tone and vocal variety works. Maybe I am a very enthusiastic person, so that enthusiasm also works with the audience. Keep up the pace, the tone. When you're telling a story, there are lows and highs. So keep up that low, high with your hand gestures, with your vocal variety. Then the pauses. Give some space in between your stories or your speech. Whenever you're speaking, it takes around 1 to 2 seconds to reach to the audience. Keep up the pauses. You'll never fumble. You'll never have filler words. There were some like to or something which you're using that will all be taken care once you pause. Think. That's it. That's it for your delivery part. Then coming to you may want to work on. I've already spoken about the characters. When you say storytelling, there are certain facts also related to it. Maybe you can tell. I've heard much of your initial stories, your own personal life struggle. So, how many publishers you reached, how much time you have taken those challenges and overcame through it. Take an example of somebody whose life is similar, a leader or a person, a public figure who went through these. Maybe that can help. So these are certain tips. Overall eye contact part, love the camera. Sometime I felt that you were looking and searching for audience to get a validation back. Just love the camera. It's you and your camera. That's it. I mean, the eye contact was good, but something which you can improve with your camera. I think that's it. I'll present my detailed report in the sheet, which I'll share with you. Now let's move on to the general evaluation part. Some of the good examples. Before the meeting, I'm sorry, but then certain things which we should always be prepared as role takers. So at the last moment, I got certain role taker information, but we managed and we overcame that. Second is room was well equipped. So this is one of the good example. And we started at 11:05. We still have 6 minutes and we are well versed with that. Guests were very well welcomed, greeted, and presiding officer very well organized, prepared. Each and every member got time to talk about themselves. And then we come to the opening part. So when we are opening the meeting, one thing was we can explain the format of the meeting, which was missing. So we need to introduce the Toastmaster, maybe the Toastmaster of the day, well, so that it speaks to the audience with the format. And I think rest was all in place. Some of the improvement areas I'll suggest will be encouraging the speakers to turn on the cameras. That will help the speakers and the new members to make more effort in communicating non-verbally. And also start the session with an opening saying that, yeah, today we're going to have educational session and be patient. That's where our theme is, perseverance. So we should encourage people to talk more to the guest speaker so that we get more clarity over the whole idea and the picture of meeting. That's it. That's the general evaluator report. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Chetna.
Thank you, Mansi, for presenting such a detailed report. It was really helpful. Now, over to you, Toastmaster Sankhya.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Chetna. Just before concluding, I just wanted to give the timer report as well. So for the prepared speech, Toastmaster Pasha took 7 minutes 21 seconds. For the table topics, Parvati took 1 minute 47, Ranjini 2 minutes 11 seconds, Rupa 1 minute 47, Pragya 1 minute, Dijesh 1 minute 14, Prativa 1 minute 42, Mansi at 1 minute 33, Purnima 1 minute 2, Pasha as 1 minute 57. As evaluated, Toastmaster Mansi took 3 minutes 10 seconds. So it's great that everybody has qualified in terms of that timing. So that's super. And since Toastmaster Tanmay has to step back, so I'm just taking over the presiding officer to conclude today's meeting. In terms of conclusion of today's meeting, first of all, thank you everyone for coming up with, and everybody participated in today's meeting. Just for before we conclude, may I request everyone to switch on the video if possible, if there is no technical issue or something. We just take 5 seconds.
Master Shankya, we should first clap aloud.
Absolutely. I wanted to see the clap, so that's why I spoke everyone. So let's give a round of applause for everybody's effort today and participating so wholeheartedly. That's super, and that gives a lot of confidence for both the speakers. And when you're coming to the stage, initially when people come to the stage, they have always fear in the mind that if I falter, or if I don't say the things correctly, what will other people think? Let me tell you, everybody is on the same page. So it's not only you, everyone. And tenure Toastmasters, everybody still have the kind of a butterfly in the stomach that will always be there. And that's good actually, because that will always give you a preparation time, and it always give you an alertness. I think that, yes, now I'm alert, fully alert. And remember, when you're in the stage, just move out of the thought, just remove the thought that what will others think of you, because that is something which you need to train your mind, and then when you are going to rock the show, right? So before we conclude, before we close, would love to hear from our lovely guests and also our new members as well. How did you feel for today's meeting? What is the feedback you have? So I would love to go along with Parvati. If you can just give us a few inputs.
This is my first virtual Toastmaster session. I've attended a few Toastmaster sessions as a guest in my office. So this is my first virtual one. And I think just as you mentioned, Sankhya, that trying out and not fearing, like just like Dr. Pasha also mentioned about standing out and uh, facing your fear is what I've learned. And I think it's a best opportunity to learn how the format is, what is what, how does each one greet each other. Like I noticed that everybody did greet each other by saying Toastmasters, about how the sessions are. So all this was a new learning. I think it's great to be around, and yeah, I look forward to being in many more sessions of this sort. Thank you.
Absolutely. Let's give a round of applause for Parvati. Wonderful. And we have Rupa. Hi, Rupa.
Hi.
Would love to hear about today's feedback from you.
Yeah, sure. It was a wonderful session. It was very much interactive, and I see all the speakers are like very warm, welcoming, and very grateful. And coming to the speeches, like the educational session was very much helpful because it was my second session. I attended first session where I was not aware of some terms. What is L1? What is P2? What is these are the some things which I didn't knew. But today's sessions clarified most of the things. Yeah, it was really. I'm happy that I have joined the session today, and being to this Toastmasters club is very welcoming session, I would say. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Rupa. Let's give a round of applause for Rupa. And you are so right. I remember when I joined the Toastmaster, and it happens with almost every one of us. When you join the Toastmaster club, you kind of get lost a little bit, thinking that what's is happening, how do I come up, and sometimes you also feel very, little bit shy also that if do I put the comments in the group, in the members group or not? Do I nominate myself? So all these things happens, but don't worry. We all have gone on the same page. Our VP Education is there, Toastmaster Sonal. Please feel free to connect with her as well in case you have any kind of clarification required. Apart from that, I am there. Toastmaster Mansi is there. Toastmaster Tanmay is there. So we are Toastmaster Lalita also. So we are also we are part of the club officers group. You can always connect with us as well on the right.
Thank you so much.
Super. And would love to hear from you, Purnima.
Yeah. Today I mainly joined for the pathways session. I was not aware that this is a general Toastmasters club meeting, and I was expecting only a presentation session from Toastmaster Ashwin, and then I thought I would log out, but then I came to know that there are other regular topics as well. So I continued to participate. It was really good. It was a well organized session. It started on time, and now it's about to end on time. I like the topic that Toastmaster Pasha presented. It was quite inspiring, and even the table topics chosen by the Toastmaster Lalita was good. Everybody participated well, and gave me a lot of confidence to speak as well. Thank you. I would look forward to participate in your club more often. Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Purnima. A round of applause for Purnima. And we would love to see you again and again in our club meetings.
Sure.
Okay, we have two new members who have just joined. It's not even 1 month. Toastmaster Brijesh, would love to hear from you.
Yes, thank you, Toastmaster Sankhya. So it was a great session, and a speech given by Dr. Pasha was great, as he told about fear. Same thing is with me. So I joined this Toastmaster. So to get a confidence to speak in public speaking, so and get out of my fear. So it was a great session today. So that's all. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Brijesh. Indeed, I also get a lot of inspiration from Toastmaster Pasha. From the time when he joined in until the time now, is improved tremendously, and that is only because of the hard work that he has put in the back. On the Sunday when we come up, that's the practice. That's the practice session which we do. But behind the back, you have to do a lot of improvement, go through the speeches, go through various clubs as well, because we will also help you with giving different club meetings. Sometimes we do have joint meetings as well with other clubs. That gives a different audience, so that we all become more free and as a speakers. So good job, Toastmaster Brijesh. And last but not the least, we have Toastmaster Pragya.
Yeah. Hi. So just to give my opinion how the meeting went, it was amazing. I really enjoyed the pathway session, because being a new member of this club, I think that was the first thing that we need to be aware of, like how to traverse through the different pathways, how to select. So that was very helpful for me. And as Brijesh pointed out, that yeah, I've also joined this club to overcome my fear of fear of speaking, public speaking specifically. And the most important thing that I feel, that most of the time we have a lot of thoughts in our head which we want to convey, but the coherence and the cohesion of thoughts which we want to convey to the audience is very important, which is where Toastmaster is the platform that helps us practice this and be a master of it. So that is my motivation of joining. And yeah, so a long way to go in my journey, but yes, starting on a good note. So thank you for this meeting and for everything that I have experienced so far.
Absolutely. Let's give a round of applause for Toastmaster Pragya. And indeed, it's beautiful thought that you have come up with, because in our corporate journey, like most of us are working in various corporates, or in our various professional lives. So we also often we have to interact with multiple stakeholders, sometimes with clients, sometimes with internal team members as well. And there the communication plays a huge role. How do you convince your stakeholders? How do you convey your thoughts? How do you articulate your thoughts? And most of the time it happens online as well. So from the body or from the the voice, the intonation also, that also plays a huge role when you have to communicate any ideas to the stakeholders. And Toastmaster is such a platform where you can practice all those things without any hesitation that what others will think. Right?
True. Thank
So,
you.
excellent. With that, let us close meeting number 320. And in case you are a guest, still to be added to our Toastmaster, our speakers and guest group, please feel free to connect with me. And you already added and you want to become a member as well, feel free to connect with me as well, because I am taking care of the BP membership as well. And with that, let us close today's meeting. I hope to see you again next week, and have a great weekend.
Thank you all.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Bye bye.